HeyRuka. Now, I know you probably don't like me very much right now. And to be perfectly honest, the feeling is more than mutual. The fact of the matter is, I'm not a big fan of racism in any form, even if it's fairly mild. I mean, honestly, even if it's just nationalism, like this kind of racial nationalism, whatever that is. But I don't know why anyone would care about anyone else's ethnic background, and for that matter, how similar or different it is to one's own ancestry, any more than somebody might, for example, care what type of car someone else drives and how similar or different it is to one's own car. Or whether somebody drives a car at all, I guess, really. Now, I know you feel pretty under attack lately, especially with the video that I put out, where I showed that screenshot of a Stormfront posting that appeared to be from you. But, you know, that really wasn't my intent to make you feel like you were under attack. Ultimately, I just wanted you to clarify what your position actually was, something you've been avoiding ever since this whole debate on whether or not, or to what extent of a racist you are. So yeah, I wanted you to clarify what your position was, but instead of doing that, the forum post that I linked all of a sudden vanished after only a few hours. I mean, thank goodness for the cached page being saved, so I could link that below the video so people could still see it. But it's interesting, you've still remained silent. I mean, you denied making the post in the comments, but I was pretty clear that I wanted to see a video out of it. And you don't seem to realize that your guilt or innocence in this was not really the point. Which is actually why I offered to make a full retraction if you made a video. The point is that either you support Stormfront and wrote the comment, and then you should be open and honest about that. Or it wasn't you. And then you can explain exactly how much you disagree with the sentiments expressed in the comments. I really don't think that asking for a few minutes of recorded video clarifying that is too much to ask. And from what I can see, a lot of other people agree that just you explaining what your positions actually are might be a nice change there. So, I think this video might inspire that clarification, since my last one didn't. And I just want to make a quick point. You've complained about personal attacks against you and people not dealing with the issues. But again, when people have tried to discuss the issues with them, often they get blocked, you're not responding, you just make it about the personal stuff. So, you know, if you're not going to have an honest, open debate, then why should anybody take you seriously enough to not mock the fuck out of you? Anyways, up until now, I have been zooming in on the profile of the person who was claiming to be relaying your message to the Stormfront community. This person is listed as living in Canada and is named Twisted Valkyrie because poor literacy is cool. You have claimed that this person was lying, but I would ask, if that is the case, why are you currently friends with them on YouTube? If they had so woefully misrepresented you, I would think that you would want to be as far away from them as possible. I mean, I was almost beginning to think that you presumably being the one that got the thread shut down so quickly was due to the actual possibility that it was an imposter. But then, if that's the case, why not cut off and block Twisted Valkyrie, who's the person who said, "Hey, I'm relaying this message from HeyRuka." I'm just saying, if you're trying to cover the whole thing up then, if that's what's happening, you might want to try being a bit more consistent. Look, I know that this whole Stormfront thing that you were going through is kind of like that adorable phase in one's childhood where you're going to try to act like a grown-up and say something intelligent to impress all the adults, but you just end up shitting your pants instead. But HeyRuka, in fairness, it's time to put up or shut up. If that wasn't you, why all the evidence pointing to you? And what do you actually think about the views espoused in that thread? I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm chaotic. Maybe I have you all wrong. I expect your video response explaining why I am wrong any day now. Oh, and no flagging threats this time, okay? I think you know better than that. Or maybe, since the atheist community has basically turned its back on you, maybe you could just turn your back on atheism and start praying again to, that God that you used to follow, and see if he is willing to fix all your troubles.